Good evening. I'm Ken Demers for Psychic Holistic Spotlight. We are in our 24th year. Today we have Maria Ayamonte, Sherry Caceres, and our guest for this evening is Bob Baxter. And we are going to vibrate. We are going to talk about vibrational healings and different things. If you look at these wonderful flowers here, they're vibrating. Or if they were real, they would be vibrating. These just kind of sit there dumb. But he does flower essences.
Yeah.
And he's working with the vibrations of the flower to promote healings. How does that work?
Well, it's pretty mechanical.
Besides
really.
wonderful.
Yeah. No, thanks for having me on. We were trying to come up with a topic on this particular one, since there's so many things that we can talk about, and vibration is what we found is a really important aspect of all life. And with light and sound, we create vibration and frequency.
We are vibrations.
That's it. So we live in a world of vibration, you know, whether it be these beautiful flowers, these not flowers,
almost flowers.
They almost flowers, but you know, the color speaks more than, we can't really call them flowers,
so
right?
we have a color vibration affecting us.
We have a color vibration. And, you know, so that is in itself, it speaks, you know, yellows say something differently to us. So vibration really is a way of speaking, I think.
What do the different colors say to us?
I think we all take it in differently, you know, depending on our beliefs about the color yellow or the color red or the color blue. We'll all have our own lens to see that vibration.
So if we had a particular affinity for pink roses, when we were in the vibration of them, it would have a different meaning for us than for someone else?
Yeah, it's, you know, the colors, everybody has their favorite color. And why is that? Why is it your favorite color? What does that color, how does it make you feel? Yeah. So when we do some work, sometimes we'll say, you know, how does that make you feel? How does, what, if you looked at the color yellow, for example, you could say it's a color yellow. How does that make you feel? What texture does it make you feel? Does the color yellow?
It doesn't ring my bell. I mean, I appreciate it's pretty, but I don't know. I don't have.
If you had to give it a texture.
A texture?
Yeah. This is how abstract vibration can be. It can also be a texture. It can be a temperature. What temperature would the color yellow, that color yellow, be?
Middle.
Middle.
Red would be hot.
Okay.
The blues would be cool. The yellows would be 5/8 up the scale.
There's a frequency to that. But anyway, these are all a lot of abstract aspects of what the colors are. But to each of us, they're probably going to take on a different meaning. When we were talking about flower essences, though, there's a whole different topic.
It's a different type of vibration.
Back in the and live flowers are very different than, you know, paper or fabric flowers.
Whatever they are.
Right. So a live flower is actually going to have a different frequency, a different vibration to it, you know, than a piece or than a rock or than a human being. So it's going to have a different vibration. There was back in the latter 30s, there was a fellow by the name of Dr. Bach. I don't remember his first name. He was from England.
Yep.
And he did a lot of studies. He was also, I think, a spin-off of homeopathy, which was very big in England.
It's too bad it still isn't.
Right. Well, it is still in other cultures rather than the U.S.
Germany, very.
Yeah, very big in Europe, Germany. You know, essential oils are very much more, they're used in ingesting essential oils in France and, you know, in other parts of the world, except for the U.S. The U.S. is very, still hardline about its
American Medical
Association. Yeah.
I have a question. Where does, you said when the flower is living, etc., where does the vibration go when the flower dies?
That's a good question. Where do you go when you die? Where do we go
I
when
think
we die?
well, okay, and it
It's
goes,
the same.
it just conjoins again.
I think it goes back into the sphere. It's kind of like we go back to the earth, right? We go back into the essence. Spirit, or the flower, goes back into the essence of flower energy.
But on the other hand,
energy.
once a vibration exists, it will always exist.
Right.
Your vibration
It's
as
like
an
your
individual
soul.
person, once you pass over, that vibration continues.
Right.
I've had individuals come in to leave messages with me through mediums that have been dead for 150 million years. So once it exists, it stays existing. That flower is,
Which means it
kinda like
always existed.
It's kind of like a great psychic vibrational book. Like the, what do you call it, the Akashic
Akashic
records,
yeah.
right? But in a flower essence, here now, that vibration, you know, yes, it goes away, but it's there now, let's say. What Bach found was that each flower had a signature. It had a frequency that told a story. So, for example, the flower of an oak tree talks about the vibrational signature is strength, solidity, groundedness. Okay, so he found that all of these 38 flowers that he worked with all had a vibrational signature. When you combine some of those together, you get a little symphony, you get a little harmonic. And so he came up with, and most of us have seen Bach Rescue Remedy,
Yep.
okay, at the co-op or the food store. And those are remarkable. Airline stewardesses will carry those. I have my own Rescue Remedy. This is a product that I make, right? Yeah, little side note.
These are gifts to us, thank you.
It's Helios Health Products. This is a vibrational spray that is spray onto your topical. And it's good for arthritis or good for bee stings or burns. And in it has 5 flower essences from the California Flower Essence Society.
Yep.
That's one that spun off of the Bach Remedies, the original 38. And they've been around for probably 30-some years. And it's field-proven remedies that they use when they pick, whether, and even vegetables, they all have their frequencies. So it helps our bodies to revibrate out here before they become solid. So if you take a rescue remedy and you put it in your mouth, that's 5 flower essences. I can't remember exactly which 5 they are.
No,
But they help immediately to help the body to be strong.
these rescue remedies can be purchased at local
Health food
food stores,
Whole
Grateful
Foods.
Hearts,
Whole
and
Foods.
And they're
Yeah.
good for
Yeah,
pets
right.
also.
Yeah,
a lot of
Yeah.
places.
everybody
They
carries
really
that one.
work. That's the bottom line.
And you do a couple of drops when you're really stressed or when you're really got a physical problem, and they just help. They help with animals to really pick up on them.
I never heard of people giving them to animals.
Yeah, yeah.
What,
They're really
they put
good.
it in their food, or they
Put
put
it in
it
their
on
food,
their
drop
tongue?
it
Down
drop it on their
under
head.
tongue.
No.
Put it on their fur. You know, it helps them. It just helps vibrationally that quick. So it's a signature. What they'll do is they take the flower and they'll lay it on water and let it hit the sun for a while, and then that water becomes the stock resonant frequency, and then they add it to a stock bottle and use brandy or usually alcohol to hold it in
Well-
vibration. And you just take one drop.
Do they use a certain amount of flowers to a certain amount of water to create a certain potency so that it's kind of uniform?
I don't know. They probably do. They probably have a bowl. Could be. They might do it in a crystal bowl, with a certain kind of water that would be really clear and a neutral harmony. So then you soak the flowers. You could probably research it more on California Flower Essence Society, or the Flower Essence Society, FES.
Do you think this stuff will ever become, well, a few hundred years ago when this was a more earth-based culture, it was common.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because of American medical, it kind of got suppressed,
Well,
mildly saying.
yeah.
Do you think it'll ever make a comeback, or a bigger
it's
comeback?
huge right now. It's making a comeback right now. People who are studying it or using it, I've been using flower essences for about 25 years, and I've seen some amazing things happen. When I pick them, well, I have about 300 or so, and I use a pendulum.
300 or so
Flower
what?
essences.
Each
For
not
every-
300 flowers, but 300 essences.
Little tiny
in little
bottles, and then you
vials
pick one, and then you make a remedy for yourself
for
or
a
somebody,
particular problem.
or a person.
So you are in effect becoming a modern day. I don't want to say witch doctor, a modern day medicine man, as it were, an herbal medicine man, an herbalist.
Yeah, I've seen. It's amazing how using a pendulum. That's a whole nother show, but that's using muscle testing to pick how many. Which you don't want to pick usually over 4 or 5 per, and then you pour it into a little stock bottle, and then you take 3 drops under your tongue, maybe 3 times a day. And
what kind of problems would you take these for?
anything, any
I'm
physical
trying to be a little
problem.
more specific.
Yeah, a physical problem, an emotional problem.
Car sickness.
Car sickness, an emotional problem, inability to focus, strength, immune system, a lot of things that do come are emotional
Okay,
in nature.
you also do the tapping business.
Tapping EFT, which is tap on points.
Right. A couple of months ago, we had a guest on who was doing the neurolinguistics on returning veterans and making them be not so suicidal.
Right.
Could this kind of stuff be used for that also?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which,
I
hate to put you on the spot, what kind of flowers would work for that particular
It
thing?
would be for the individual. You can't.
Oh,
you
it's
can't
not
say,
a generic.
No. You can do rescue remedy that will help. But what's so nice about all of these things that are developing now? We've all had like 25 years to work with these things.
Yeah, it's been around a long time.
So NLP and EFT and tapping and learning divination or kinesiologies and things like that have been studied by a lot of people now for 25 years. So there's professionals at all of this stuff who have a vast amount of knowledge. And we have the internet now, so we can study all of these things, put them all together. And if I was going to do a session with somebody, I can do some EFT, I can do some Jin Jitsu, which is a light touch on meridians. I can add some flower essences to that, and I can spray some spray and rub their feet. And oh my God, that person is going to be totally different when they leave.
How many different modalities do you work with?
Oh, I don't know, maybe if I had to count them. When I do a session, I work with EFT, Jin Jitsu, an amethyst biomat, which is a mat.
Tell me, I've never heard of that one. Half the other stuff I've studied,
it's a mat,
I don't know what that is.
It's a mat you lay on the table. It's filled
crystal,
with,
okay.
It's filled with 20 pounds of crushed amethyst, and it's
What
wired.
a waste of nice amethyst.
Oh, it's really great.
It's
you have to lay on one. I should bring one.
Okay.
You lay on it, and then it's wired with far infrared. And so you lay on it, it drops you into a delta sleep in about 2 minutes. And then it helps to heal your body. So anyway, I add that.
On what level?
on all levels.
All levels.
Well, I didn't know.
At what level? It helps on your
physical,
mental and your
spiritual,
physical, emotional. It helps a lot of the physical body.
A lot of physical stuff, especially with chronic disease. And it also, there's no EMF that radiates off of it because the amethyst protects you from that.
And the amethyst adds to the, here's another frequency. So the amethyst, which is this purple light energy, right? That frequency end of the rock itself, with far infrared pumped through it. So a red.
What are you calling far infrared?
Far infrared waves.
I know that, but where is it in the spectrum, I guess is?
It's a longer red wave.
Okay.
In frequency, infrared, you know, as opposed to far infrared, that's a longer, wider wave. So it goes deeper into the body. So in other words, you can,
More
it's like,
penetrating, that's what we're looking for.
right,
Okay.
I don't want to call it microwave, but it will penetrate to the bone marrow. So it also then relaxes every cell in the body, you know, to that level. So it's a really profound healing device. In the amethyst biomat.
How many of these, out of curiosity, are in the state of Rhode Island?
There's a lot.
Really? A lot.
My boss is a distributor, so I know very much about it because all our clients lay on it when they come to our office. So it's part of their session, if you will.
I sell them too, and
okay.
I have 4, and they're great at a chiropractor's office. A person can relax and he can adjust a lot quicker. But it's, you know, for your own personal use. I've even one of the stories with autism being reversed in 10 sessions.
Wow.
Yeah, there was a woman who had her.
Now that's interesting.
Yeah, because they say autism is usually a food issue. It's what we're putting into our body issue.
Autism?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they didn't know what caused it. That's the first.
That's just the theory that.
That's
yeah.
what's coming to the surface now.
So yeah, and so this woman had a child, and she couldn't even look at you, and she was just, you know, like this. And after sleeping on it, you can sleep on it, and you turn it down low. And after the first session, second session, she chronicled each one. And then by the 10th, she was looking you in the eye and carrying on a conversation.
What do you think happened
That's amazing.
to that individual to make that condition regress or disappear?
Being a doctor,
I know,
to,
but I mean
to repeat the article, it affected the child on so many different levels. It increases metabolism, it moves the lymph, it decreases, it's an anti-inflammatory. It soothes and calms the body. It puts you in such a deep state that the body can heal better. I knew a woman who had really bad back problems. She was on morphine. There was nothing working for her. She laid on a biomat. I loaned it to her daughter. She gave it to her. For 3 days, it lasted, I think it was, she said it was for 3 months.
Wow.
Just that 3 days.
It happened. It worked for her. I've never heard what you called them before. 20 years ago, when crystal balls were first making their rounds and that, I don't know what you would call it, but it was like a dream for me, that I was creating almost like a coffin made out of crystal that had a copper mesh inside of it that had green light shining on it, and people would lay in it. And this is like a dream that I mean, I've never heard of one, but I kind of related to what you guys are talking about.
Yeah, it's ultimate in healing with crystals, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah, I don't know what it would particularly do, if anything.
Well,
but I thought it was interesting at the time.
Yeah, that's what I think about, vibration and frequency, and then you put in crystals to that, and you know, our body's going to take from whatever it is what it needs from the color spectrum. A crystal, even though it's amethyst and I put it on your heart, doesn't necessarily mean it's going to help to heal your heart. The body's going to take maybe some spectrum of that color purple, or maybe some aspect of what that is.
Plus, it's still a crystal, period, a quartz crystal.
What about the mat? Does it need a cleansing, or does
No, it cleanses itself.
It cleanses itself. It's not like, because a regular crystal, a quartz crystal.
You would want to clean it,
and all that. So this.
No, with the far infrared, it's cleaning itself all the time.
How are you creating the far infrared of a lamp?
You plug it in. It's got a Texas Instruments control panel, and you can turn up. Not only does it, you can turn up the far infrared heat, so you could turn it up to 155 degrees.
Which is pretty warm.
Yeah.
It's a sauna.
Cancer cells can't live in above 110. So in Japan, they use the amethyst biomat, which is where it's from. They use it to cure cancer.
Leprosy, I think, would die at, I think it was about 101 or 2 degrees.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah.
There's so much being done with the biomat.
What do they cost?
1,600. That's the one for the big one.
If
Then there's a
you've-
little chair.
If you're a practitioner, I guess it would be worth
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Or if you have
Well,
a
and-
particular condition that you want to get cured,
Yeah.
that's probably a buy.
Well, and if it's for the whole family, then that's another thing. We use them in some spas. I sell them to some spas. You can find more information on this on my website.
Say the name of them again.
It's called the Amethyst Biomat, Biomat.
And the website is?
You can go to my website and find out about it, and it's called thewellnessfactor.org.
Okay.
So,
I want to change subjects just a little bit. You had talked to, I can't remember what you called them. The doctor's homeopathy, was it?
homeopathic doctors, yeah, homeopathy, which is treating like with like, only with very small doses.
That's what I'm talking about. It's where they use a 100 millionth of something to put it on your skin.
And the more you dilute it, the
affects
more
you.
powerful it is.
Yeah, and that's what, strictly vibrational.
No, well,
in
in essence it
about that.
is, but it's, homeopathy is the like aspect. One company I know, it's a topical pain relief formula. A company's called Topricin, Topricin, and it's a really nice homeopathic pain relief formula. And it uses rattlesnake venom and Gila monster.
Two nasty things.
Yeah, and it uses that venom, very dilute, in their formula, and it kills pain.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, you look, I'm not familiar with all the and what they do is their way, and to be a homeopathic doctor is amazing because
I've never met one.
They look at your whole being. They ask you questions about your mother to come up with what it is that you need for your treatment. And it could be plant-based. I mean, they have homeopathics for poison ivy. And you take a little sugar pill that has a little drop of the stuff on it, 3 times a day. And you just put it under your tongue and let it dissolve.
For poison ivy. That's different.
Or my spray, Helios Health Products, this spray, you spray it right on the surface.
For poison ivy?
For poison ivy, and it stops the itch. It does for bug bites and mosquito burns. And it also, it's a great,
As you spray it, I could smell it over here.
Yeah, you can smell it. It's odoriferous. But also that frequency, when I make this, you ever heard of Dr. Emoto?
Yes.
Okay.
This is the water crystal guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe y'all have heard of him. He's got a book out for words that have frequency. So he found that the word love and gratitude were his first really key words that he could put. He found that he would say love and gratitude to water, or he would play Bach or Beethoven or Vivaldi to the water. And then he would freeze the water and he would look at the crystals and they were all beautiful like snowflakes.
Right.
Then he found that if he played heavy metal and yelled and screamed and said lousy, dirty words and negative words to the water, it would come out he would freeze it, it would come out all gray and in shards. It wasn't pretty at all.
Yeah, dysfunctional crystals, basically.
It was just, and it was dirty looking. And so what he found was that he could take, even if you write the word and tape it to your water, it will imbue the water with that frequency of happiness, love, joy, whatever. So you can make your own happy water.
What happens if you put it on alcohol?
It gets even happier. I think we're onto something.
I don't know. I don't drink, so.
Well, I mean,
We'll have to find a drinker.
Well, you can get your Odil's happy water.
We'll start
a new product.
A craft beer.
Yeah, a microbrewery.
And we'll start a microbrewery, and we'll
Happy Bear.
Stamp all the barrels and everything else
with beer.
With good
beer.
Good symbols and.
Okay, so
so
But anyway, so when I make this, I play Bach or Vivaldi so that the crystalline structure takes on in the formula with the flower essences.
Practice what you preach.
Right, right. So that's kind of a
Neat,
neat
kind of neat.
thing. Yeah, and it's all coming together. It's all so new.
I know
It's
these.
Where can people get that product that you are
You can
making
buy-
with such care?
with such care. You can get it on our website at Helios, Helios, healthproducts.com. Helios is the Greek god of the sun. Health products. So without the sun, which is a major vibration, if we don't have that
Yeah.
vibration, we're done. And you can get it at a couple places in Wakefield. There's a few places around East Greenwich. But in Wakefield, there's the Purple Cow, there's the Food for Thought, and the Alternative Food Co-op, All That Matters. There's some yoga places around. There's some chiropractors that use it. So you can get it in some different places. Thanks.
Excellent.
Thanks for the help.
I know these books are out on vibrational healing. I'm not. I own them, but I haven't read them yet. But
One of the Bible is Richard Gerber, Vibrational Healing,
okay.
or The Secret Life of Plants by, I think his name's Dr. Baxter.
And
No relation.
any relation? No.
No.
Too bad.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. What would you say to people if you said, okay, you're sick, this is a course of action for you to try and heal yourself? What do you, where do you begin?
I would write some good words on your glass of water, tape it to your water. I would get some flower essence rescue remedy, and always have that in the house. And I would talk to myself with nice words.
Talk to yourself with nice words.
Yep. Instead of negative words, treat yourself like you would your good child.
There was a woman out in California, Susan somebody, I don't remember. She had a program that she called Lighten Up. And basically, she would have people take off all their clothes and look at a mirror and then go over the body saying what a wonderful job it had done. They do that the first time, and then after that, when they were getting ready for bed, you're putting cream on or something, and say what a good job the hand had done, what a good job the feet. And they found that people lost weight, they stopped having compulsive eating things, they
I was just thinking,
unconditional love for yourself is basically what it came down to.
it's hard to,
And
that takes some practice.
But it was verbalization, a positive verbalization about your own body.
Love
And it had a
myself.
profound effect on people. And I think we're almost out of time, and we are going to say good night. This is Bob Baxter, and he works out of South County. And if you want to get a hold of him, he's got wonderful words. He's not afraid to talk to people, and he'll offer some wonderful advice. Try him. You might be very happy, and I'm babbling because I'm waiting for the time to go
You'll
out.
Thank you.
definitely be happy.
Thank you for sharing your product with us.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, you'll enjoy it.
Excellent.
Ta-da. And I think we're going to say good night.
Just the
Good night.
smell itself, it feels
Can you
it's
smell it
alive.
from when he used it?
No, but I know it. I
Yeah.
know
Oh,
that.
we still got 30 seconds.
It's alive.
Okay.
Well,
The
go
smell
to
is alive.
the wellnessfactor.org, and you can find out about me and my products and all that we talked about.
And I think we're done now.
Yep.
Very good. Very interesting.
No. So
Thanks.
I've used the products also, and it's kind of like an instant thing. And because of the odor is so alive, you just add that to the intention also of the vibration.
And then I chant over it when I make it.
Oh, awesome.
And I call in the herbalist.